Well, Vikings fans, I honestly don't know how to feel about today's game. I mean, yes, I know we lost. Yes, I know we lost to the Chiefs, but this team this year is just so frustrating to watch because there are glimpses, there are glimmers, there is hope, and yet, unlike last year, we can't seem to capitalize on it. But yeah, this team is way better than their record, at least from a standpoint of player and personnel wise, but I don't know. I don't know. Well, let's go ahead and actually get into it here. So yeah, the Vikings lose by a final score of 27-20 after Kirk Cousins couldn't attempt a Hail Mary into the end zone. However, though, just like in typical Vikings fashion, the game starts off on a turnover after a big play. And as, well, more often than not, is basically the difference between a win and a loss. And, yeah, I mean, it's frustrating, it's annoying, it's just disgusting, really. I mean, there's no other real word to put it. I mean, it's just one of those things where the Vikings' record should be a lot better than it is, but of course, the Vikings, Viking. I mean, if you've known me for a while, you know the Vikings just... there's patterns. There's things that happen that I've seen so many times that just rear their ugly head at like the worst possible times. Case in point today, Josh Oliver losing that fumble. And then, of course, on top of that, JJ has a hamstring injury. Don't know how long that is. He did not finish the game. But still, though, there were glimpses of hope. There were glimpses of positivity. There were glimpses of a team that basically ran its way into the playoffs last year. Granted, with 11 comeback victories, we all know how that is. But now the Vikings are 1-4 in single-score games this year versus 11-0 that they were last year. And again, I know regression to the means and all that stuff, but I don't even know if this is regressing to the means or if this is just a flat-out 180. But again, there's not really much else you could do. There's not really much else you can say. I mean, the Vikings have shot themselves in the foot. Kevin O'Connell's game management skills still need working on, especially because we were without timeouts with about 10 minutes to go in the game, including just a dumb challenge that he did against, I believe it was, well, Justin Watson, I believe, or something like that. Anyway, regardless, it was on a toe drag catch, I believe that was actually a Travis Kelce potential quote-unquote fumble, but they ruled that a catch. So, even if we would have had one timeout, because in typical Vikings fashion we knew it would come down to that, who knows? But, yeah, I mean, all in all, though, the Vikings did fight. Alexander Mattison had a beautiful touchdown. Jordan Addison has really stepped up. And like I say, depending on what happens with JJ, he might have to become that number one guy. Even Brandon Powell had a good catch. KJ Osborne looked pretty good again. TJ Hawkinson looked all right. I mean, at least when he wasn't banged up. He did have a couple plays where he kind of got the wind and stuff knocked out of him, but hopefully that's just nothing more than getting the wind knocked out of him. Because especially if JJ's out for any sort of time, 87's got to be that number one guy. But, yeah, I mean, the defense did all they could. I mean, the defense did get enough stops when they needed to. I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes. Let's be honest here. Patrick Mahomes is just a cheat code. Travis Kelce is a cheat code. But I'll tell you what, though. It's still frustrating. Still annoying. And still just absolutely infuriating. Because there's been so many times, in so many cases. I mean, I don't think this year the Vikings have been down, at the end of a game by more than 10. So, I mean, it's not even that, the Vikings are getting blown out. They have opportunities at the end, they just can't capitalize. Again, kind of like in 2020, 2021, 2018. I mean, it's literally the same pattern over the last several years. I mean, I could just sit here, rant, rave, scream, and, F you, F me, F this, F that, but at the end of the day, what good does that do? I mean, it's frustrating, yes. It's annoying, yes. Does it make me want to rip my hair out? Yes. Does it make me want to run through a brick wall? Yes. I mean, let's be honest here. It's especially frustrating when it's almost all self-inflicted wounds and self-inflicted issues that just don't seem to be getting better. I mean, case in point, literally right out the gate, that Josh Oliver fumble that I mentioned earlier, after a 20-yard gain, which turned out to be the difference in the game. Or at least at the time. I mean, at the very least, we would have been tied. But again, taking nothing away from the Chiefs are still the Chiefs. They win ugly. Even though Mahomes was a little bit dinged up and Kelsey was dinged up, so that could be intriguing to see moving forward here. But on to Chicago. And hopefully we can get it done here and just at the very least save a little bit of skin off our backs, because the following week, if I remember correctly, is the Monday night game against the 49ers at home. Oh, sweet Jesus. So, ain't no rest for the wicked, kids. And like I say, I'm still not at that point that we should tank for, high draft pick or anything like that, but who knows? So, yeah, I think I've rambled on long enough here. Like I say, on to Chicago. So until we meet again, this is Jacob. Have a good day.